Hi scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am here to show you another album share. Now this is about the third time that I have recorded this. I don't know what is going on with my computer, but the audio keeps messing up and going slower than the video, or I don't know. But anyway, so hopefully this time it'll work better. Um, this is my wedding album, and my mother-in-law paid for it to be embossed on with silver, and it says "For Time and All Eternity, Megan and Mark, January 3rd, 2003." And I got this album from Creative Memories, and I really like it. It's really pretty. Okay, this is the first page. And I just used some Zig markers. Let's see, I believe I still have them. Yeah, it's these Zig memory system markers. And I used this silver, a blue, and a pink, which I don't think I actually still have the pink because I think the pink dried up. But so I just wrote out Mark and Megan, January 3rd, 2003. And at this time I was using those those plastic acrylic stencils or whatever. I don't know what they're made out of, but so what you would do is you would just trace around the image and then use scissors to cut them out. And so that's why they look so jagged and just imperfect. And with this mat right here, I thought I was really clever doing Mark's side of the matte blue and my side pink. So yeah, and I just used some blue construction paper, and I believe the pink is a scrapbooking paper kit from Creative Memories. The same with these photos. I did the stencil and then just cut them out with some scissors. Back then I did a lot of my journaling underneath photos or above photos, and I always had a title, and I often used stamps. This one I had a stamp that said wedding day, and I just used the markers to color in the letters, and I just did it varying colors, and I just wrote out hour on that one. On this page, I really like this page. It's really simple. I used the same kind of template for this and cut it out by hand. And then these are all stickers, and I believe they are from Creative Memories. My mother-in-law bought me a bunch of wedding stuff from Creative Memories as kind of like a gift, so I thought that was a lot of fun to use those. Here's another page. So here's some more of these Creative Memories stickers. And on this day, we got married on January 3rd, like I said, and in DC it is winter time, and sorry, I can't talk, at that time of year. And so it wasn't snowing, luckily, but it was pretty drizzly and very cloudy and sprinkling a little bit. So we went inside the visitor center. My husband and I are Mormons, so we got sealed in the Washington, D.C. temple, and then we just took our group pictures and our family pictures and everything in the visitor center. So that's where we are here. And this is just outside the temple. This is at my mom's house in the kitchen. She had this chalkboard up in the kitchen, and I lived with them, I think, for like 30 days or 32 days, something like that, before Mark and I were married. And so I wrote, I did like a little countdown, like 32 days until Mark and I are sealed in the temple. And then on our wedding day, I said Megan and Mark are being sealed on January 3rd, 2003. And so I wanted to make sure we took a picture by there. And this is one of my favorite pictures of us. This is back at my mom's house, and we just had our reception at my mom and stepdad's house, which was in Virginia at the time. And so this is a really simple page because I had a lot of journaling that I wanted to do. So this is the story behind this page. My dad worked a lot. He still actually does. He's always working. He's been a workaholic my whole life. But he couldn't make it to my wedding. And the closer that my wedding got, I think he finally realized this is my baby girl's wedding, and I was the first to get married out of all of us. And so he was like, I cannot miss her wedding. So the day of my like it was a surprise to me. Everybody else knew he was coming, but I did not. So this is my reaction. Like this is a picture that I think my sister Isabel took these, my stepsister Isabel. As Mark and I walked out, because he was like the first one that I saw. He was standing right there in the middle of the lobby, and then you know, these are just a sequence of pictures, and then me hugging my dad, and I just kind of explain, you know, what was going on. And then this page is just more of the same. And this picture is actually us arriving at the temple before we were sealed. But the journaling I did was about what happened on the way to the temple, because my mom got a phone call and she was explaining how to get to the temple to someone, and I was like, oh, who is that? And she was like, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine, they'll get there. And I was just like, okay. And I didn't really think about it, but it had been my dad that was calling, and so that was kind of funny. So these are just more pictures of me and my dad. I really love this picture of me and my dad. And then this page, I just used an alphabet stencil, and I think they still make them, like where they have A, B, C, D, and all the way to Z. So what I did was I just copied the stencil and then cut them all out into squares, and then just matted the photos on the same color paper. And these stickers were from that same wedding sheet from Creative Memories. Okay, now this is my Princess Megan page. So I don't know when this started, but I have always been a princess. Like, not really. Like, I'm not spoiled, and I'm not a brat, and like I'm not really all that vain or selfish or anything, and I've never really been that way. But for some reason, I think it started in high school. I just kind of adopted this thing that I was a princess, and I always wanted to be a princess. So I had to have a page that said Princess Megan, and these were just a die cut that came in a pack I got, and so I put those on there. These are my slippers, my little glass slippers. My grandma really wanted to find me some glass slippers, but we couldn't find any, and these were the closest thing that we could come, like, that we found. And these were actually really perfect. I'm not a high heels kind of girl, and so yeah, so this was just a perfect fit for me. Okay, so this is just pictures of family. These are my mom's parents, and I love them to death. I'm really close with them. And my mom and my stepdad, my dad, my sisters, and my stepsister. And then this is Mark's parents right here. Mark's mom's sister, her son, and his wife. And then this is my brother Matt. And I think I am wearing my high heels at this time, and he was still like 2 inches taller than me. And I think he was only 13 at the time. Yeah, it was crazy. He's always been kind of tall. Okay, so for these, I have a bunch of these little die cuts in my wedding album, and I believe that they are from Creative Memories as well, just like the stickers. So here's just some more pictures. This is my Uncle Dan. He is the other one that is taking pictures, because you'll see a bunch of different pictures. Like these ones are from one camera, these are from one camera, and so there was like 2 or 3 cameras taking pictures, and Uncle Dan was one of them because he was a photographer. He liked to do it for fun. So, and I really like this page. It's just kind of a, you know, really simple, easy page. I love this picture. Absolutely love this picture of me and my sisters. And this is my cousin Bailey. Moms and dads. So this is us taking pictures with our moms and dads. At the temple. So a lot of these pages are just really simple, no mats behind them, and some of them will have mats. And I love this picture of us. Kissy kissy. And I really like this picture even though it's dark. I could probably scan it and go in and, you know, lighten it up because I have Photoshop now, but I just haven't ever done that. Okay, now we're on to cutting the cake. So we had so many pictures taken of each step that it was just kind of like crazy. So I started to write out step 1, step 2, step 3, and just kind of be silly about it. And so, yeah, I just kind of kept these pages simple because there was a lot of journaling. Now, this page was us feeding each other, and I did the stencil letters again. And these stickers were on that same sticker sheet from Creative Memories. And this is my dad decorating the cake before the reception. So he was supposed to bring a cake with him because he is a baker, that's what he does. But he, since he wasn't going to come, he hadn't planned on making one, and so my mom just bought this cake from BJ's, and he just decorated it, you know, really simply with some flowers. And I really loved how it turned out. So here's some more photos, moments to remember. This is my mother-in-law, and this is my little brother Ethan, and my 2 cousins. Sisters. Okay, so I love this photo. So this one I think we've already seen. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it was this one we've already seen. I really don't know. I have a couple of different, like I said, there were like 2 or 3 different cameras, so I have a couple different views of each photo, and this is one of my favorites. I love photos that are not taken straight on, but that are at a different angle and the people aren't looking at the camera, and this is one of my favorites. And brothers. So this is Matt and this is Ethan. I love this picture of me and Matt and Mark. Friends. So I had 2 of my friends come down. I went to high school in Newport, Rhode Island, and so this is my friend Stephanie and my friend Tara, and they were able to come down with their boyfriends, and it was so awesome to be able to spend some time with them. And this title is Heaps of Them. Heaps of Them. Mark came up with that. He really wanted me to do that. He helped me come up with a lot of these titles. Well, not a lot, but some of them. These 2 girls are co-workers from when I worked at Hallmark, which is one of the jobs that I worked at while I was there in Virginia living with my parents. And this was my young women's leader from Newport, Rhode Island. She was able to come down to our wedding, so that was really awesome. And this was our bishop and his wife at the ward in Virginia. Mommy and her girl. This was one of my very favorite alphas. It was a stamp that I got from Stampin' Up, so it's one of the really old-time stamps. I bought it 12 years ago, so yeah, it's old. Old, and I still actually have it. I really love this picture of me and my mom together. She looks really pretty in that one. And just some more pictures with my dad. Whoops, skipped a page. And husband and wife, finally. I really like the simpler pages, and I love this photo of us together in the temple behind us back there. And I love these pictures of my rings. So I used a purple paper and then a darker purple ink pad, and then to make this little pattern here, I used the same purple paper and then just put vellum on top of it, and the vellum had this heart pattern on it, so I really liked that. Okay, I'm sorry, this is taking so long, so I'll try to speed it up a little bit. Okay, so this is just a page about Mark, my funny, silly guy, and then me, and I had to have a crown, a princess crown. Everybody made a big deal about it. I don't remember making a big deal about it, but maybe I did. Okay, so I wanted to show you this whole page. I hope you can see it all, and sorry about the glare. I'll kind of pick it up there. But so Mark and Megan both start with M&M, and Mark's favorite candy is M&M's. And so we just loved that was our initials. So we thought that was really cool. So that's what I did with this. page. Kind of played off of that a little bit. Arriving at the temple. So the one thing that I don't like about this album is that I did everything kind of out of order. So I didn't do all of the arriving at the temple pictures and then, you know, the coming out of the temple and all of the, then the reception and then, you know, leaving and everything. I just kind of did what I felt at the time, I guess. So that is kind of something that bothers me about this album, but I still love it. And I really love this paper. I thought this was really pretty. So these are just some pictures of us arriving at the temple. The Fairly Oddparents. These are our parents together. I just thought that was, Mark used to watch this TV show, and so I thought that was kind of funny to call this page The Fairly Oddparents. Here's our group picture of all of our family, and this actually doesn't have everybody in it. I don't believe my dad is in it, and it doesn't look like my aunt's second daughter is there, and Ethan, my little half-brother, isn't there either. So that's kind of too bad, but oh well. Then here are some pictures from the reception. This is us preparing for the reception and then at the reception. These two layouts are really, really simple. I just wanted to focus on how the tables were laid out. So I used a little present there, food and presents, and Mark wrote out this title, Bring 'em on. He's so funny. He likes to be silly. So this is what our hors d'oeuvres table looked like, and then the present table. And since I had only lived there for about a month, not a whole lot of people from the ward or even in town really knew me, and so we didn't have very many people come. So we didn't want to just sit around and do nothing for 2 hours. So towards the end, we started opening our presents, you know, from friends and family that were there still. And my mom, Mark and I were moving back to Boise because that's where he's from, and we were going to live with his parents for a month while we looked for jobs because we had both just come straight from school. And so we were moving to Boise. So my mom was going to return all of this stuff and then just send us gift cards and we could go back and rebuy it because like this was really heavy. I think it was made out of metal. And I mean the pillows she might have sent me because she was sending me a box of stuff that was mine that I couldn't take on the airplane with me. So she did send me a few things, but some things she had to send me a gift card for to go buy. We love our gifts, so this is just us opening more gifts and reading some cards, catching the bouquet. So this is the first time I threw it, and I threw it way too high, and it hit the ceiling, like it went, you know, like block right into the ceiling. And this is the second time, and it went straight to my Aunt Elise. So Elise and my stepsister Isabel were the only single women that were there. So I thought that was funny. And the funny thing is that Isabel got married 2 times before Elise got married. So yeah, that was kind of funny. Anyway, so preparing to leave home, and this was probably a couple days before the wedding. Mark's mom came over and we were going through all my stuff and packing it up and getting it ready to go. Then this is the wedding day. So this was a scrap piece of paper that I had, you know, only cut, like I cut out like this, I guess. And so just to decorate it, I used some decorative scissors, and then I stamped wedding day all along here and just decided to use that as the background. This was the little sticky note they kept on my garment bag to make sure it didn't get mixed up with anybody else. My sister's getting ready to go before my wedding, and this is my mom sewing my dress the night before my wedding. She stayed up until 2 a.m. trying to finish it because she said she would finish it, and she just, yeah, she was working on it like crazy. So okay, this is our invitations and then our announcement and our engagement photo. And then the day after the wedding, we flew home, and we had to wake up at 5 in the morning to make it to the airport in Washington, D.C. And funny story is that for some reason they had Mark's dad's name on Mark's ticket. So Mark's dad had 2 tickets, but only one of him was flying on that plane. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. So they had to like change it out. So they just crossed it out. And then when we got to Phoenix and flew to Boise, they had it right. So I don't know what happened there. That's kind of crazy. Okay, I gotta hurry up here. Okay, so a friend of Mark's family, they had a condo in Sun Valley. So when we got back to Idaho, we drove up to Sun Valley and stayed there until Monday or Tuesday. So we got there Saturday night and then stayed Sunday, Monday, and then I think we drove home on Tuesday probably. My silly hubby, he's just a lot of fun. Pretty Sun Valley. So I just took some pictures of us driving around town. Our first purchases, I thought it would be fun to keep some of our receipts and put them in our scrapbook, so I did. And Mark remembered eating at the Neatery when he was a little kid because his family likes to travel a lot, and so they would go to Sun Valley, and he remembers eating there, so we had to eat there once. At least. I don't know. We might have eaten there more. Then on January 10th, we had a reception in Mountain Home. So his parents at the time did not live in Boise. They lived in a town that was about 45 minutes away called Mountain Home. And so that's where we had our reception at their ward building. My dad came and he made this cake. Family is awesome. So I used some more of those stickers, and this is my dad's mom, and so I was so glad that she was able to come too. Our friends, so these are all of our friends from college. They were able to come over from Rexburg, which is about 4 hours away. And then here are a bunch of pictures of people I don't really know. I remember the Jensens. They were really cool people, but that is about all. So we just had a receiving line and we just talked to a bunch of people and somebody took pictures. I don't even know who took pictures. So many people. Mingling guests. Since there were so many pictures, I just kept these pages really simple. And this is before the reception. My dad made the cake before he got to Mountain Home, and he froze it and then put it on the plane and then just decorated it when he got here. And it turned out beautiful, didn't it? He used roses to decorate it again. I just love the cake. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, now this is a fun little story. So we invited a family from their ward, and they gave us, I don't even remember what they gave us, but this card, and it said M&M Blethen, and it said to the latest brand of M&Ms. So we thought that was kind of fun that they got the, the whole play on the word or the initials M&M. And at the reception, we had M&Ms on the table, and they were pink and blue because those were our wedding colors. Okay, so I just had this quote, so I decided to put it in on this last page because I didn't have any more pictures. And then I have a bunch of pages that have all of these pockets. They were made special for cards like this. And so I just put all of our gift cards from people in these pockets, and I'm not going to show you all of them because there's a bunch of them, but yeah. And then this very last page, we got this from a family in Virginia, and they gave us a fruit bowl, and it just has a bunch of quotes about marriage and things like that, just inspirational stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool, so I put that in there. So that is my wedding album. I love it, even though it's old, and I don't know where this washi tape just came from. Even though it's, old and it's not my style anymore, I really love it, and it's fun to look back on these memories and remember that day. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll come back next week to see another album share. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.